Imagine a civilization so advanced they performed surgery without modern tools, worshipped cats like royalty, and built monuments so massive we still don't fully understand how they were made. Ancient Egypt wasn't just pyramids and pharaohs, it was clever, bizarre, and sometimes shocking. And today, we're diving into 15 things you probably didn't know about ancient Egypt. Some of these will completely change how you see this ancient world, so make sure you stick around until the end. Let's start with one of the biggest myths of all time. The pyramids were not built by slaves. Movies love to show chains and whips, but archaeology tells a different story. The pyramid builders were paid workers, mostly farmers who worked while the Nile flooded their fields. They lived in planned communities, got medical care, and were paid in food like bread, beer, and meat. Some injured workers even had healed bones, meaning they were treated, not replaced. Building a pyramid wasn't punishment, it was an honor. Helping the pharaoh reach the afterlife meant helping the entire universe stay in balance. Now here's something you wouldn't expect. Ancient Egyptians were obsessed with board games. And these weren't just for fun. One of the most popular games, called Senet, was believed to represent the journey of the soul through the afterlife. Winning a game wasn't just luck, it meant the gods favored you. That's why Senet boards were buried in tombs, so the dead could keep playing forever. But ancient Egyptians weren't just gamers. They were also surprisingly scientific. Take makeup, for example. The thick black eyeliner you see in Egyptian art wasn't just a fashion trend. It was medicine. The minerals used in eye makeup helped fight off eye infections caused by sand and sunlight. Modern scientists have even discovered that these chemicals boosted the immune system. Makeup also had spiritual meaning, protecting the wearer from evil and honoring powerful gods like Horus. Speaking of health, ancient Egyptians invented toothpaste, but it was kind of a disaster. Their toothpaste was made from crushed eggshells, ash, and stone. It cleaned teeth, sure, but it also slowly destroyed them. Combine that with bread full of sand from grinding stones, and you get widespread dental damage. Many mummies show teeth worn down to the roots, along with painful abscesses. Now here's where things get serious. Cats were sacred in ancient Egypt. They were linked to the goddess Batet and believed to bring protection and luck. If a family cat died, everyone shaved their eyebrows to show grief. And killing a cat, even by accident, could get you executed. Some families even mummified their cats and buried them in special cemeteries. And if you think their love for animals stopped there, think again. Egyptians believed many animals were physical forms of the gods. Crocodiles, falcons, ibises, and beetles were all sacred. Temples kept live animals, cared for them, and mummified them when they died. These animal mummies were used as offerings to communicate with the gods. Ancient Egyptians were also shockingly good doctors. They had specialists for eyes, teeth, and internal organs. They stitched wounds, treated broken bones, and used herbs that actually worked. What makes this even crazier is that they mixed real medical knowledge with magic spells. To them, science and religion worked together. But here's the weird part. Despite their medical knowledge, Egyptians believed the brain was useless. During mummification, it was removed and thrown away. The heart, however, was carefully preserved. Egyptians believed the heart held your thoughts, emotions, and morality. In the afterlife, it would be weighed against a feather of truth. If your heart was too heavy, your soul was destroyed. Now let's talk about beer. Ancient Egyptians loved it. Beer was safer to drink than water and was consumed daily by adults and children. It was thick, nutritious, and sometimes eaten with a spoon. Workers were often paid in beer, and it played a huge role in religious festivals. In ancient Egypt, beer wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity. Their society was also far more organized than people realize. Egyptians wrote legal contracts for marriages, jobs, loans, and land sales. These were written on papyrus, signed by witnesses, and legally binding. Even more surprising, women had many legal rights. They could own property, run businesses, and file for divorce. Now picture this. It's scorching hot, lice are everywhere, and hygiene is a constant struggle. That's why many Egyptians shaved their heads completely. But instead of going bald, they wore wigs. Wigs weren't just stylish, they were practical. The richer you were, the better your wig, and wealthy Egyptians owned several for different occasions. Children in ancient Egypt weren't ignored or overlooked. They were loved and protected. Art shows kids playing games, swimming, and learning skills from their parents. Toys like dolls and animal figurines have been found in homes and tombs. Children wore protective amulets to guard them from illness and bad luck. Ancient Egyptians were also masters of time. They created a 365-day calendar based on the flooding of the Nile and the movement of the stars. This system became the foundation for the calendar we still use today. And here's something that might surprise you. Not all pyramids were perfect. Many collapsed, cracked, or were abandoned halfway through construction. The famous smooth pyramids only exist because of centuries of trial and error. Some early pyramids show massive design flaws that nearly caused total collapse. Finally, the pyramids may not have been just tombs. Their precise alignment with stars and the sun suggests something deeper. Egyptians believed the pyramid shape represented rays of sunlight, allowing the pharaoh's soul to climb into the heavens and join the gods. Ancient Egypt wasn't just a land of the dead. It was a civilization bursting with life, intelligence, and imagination. And the more we learn about it, the clearer it becomes that these people weren't primitive at all. They were brilliant, and in many ways we're still living in a world they helped create.